The Forgotten Room, full story. It was supposed to be a fresh start. Sarah had always dreamed of living in a quiet countryside house, far from the city's chaos. When she found the old mansion at a surprisingly low price, she thought she had found a miracle. The house was large, surrounded by fields, with tall trees casting long shadows across the yard. But the neighbors had been strangely quiet when she asked about its history. No one wanted to say much. They just warned her not to wander alone at night. The discovery. A week after moving in, Sarah began cleaning the upstairs hallway. The wallpaper was peeling, and the wooden floor creaked beneath her feet. While dusting, she pushed a heavy wardrobe to one side. To her shock, she found a small wooden door hidden behind it. It was unusual, almost like someone didn't want it to be found. The door was painted over, chipped, and had a rusty lock that was broken long ago. Sarah whispered to herself, "Strange, why would anyone block this off?" Curiosity took over. She pushed the door open, and the hinges screamed loudly. Behind it was a tiny, windowless room. The air inside was icy cold, much colder than the rest of the house. Dust floated in the beam of her flashlight. In the center of the room stood an old crib. The wood was blackened with age, and one of its legs was broken. Around it were scattered children's toys. A ball with faded colors, a stuffed bear missing an eye, and a porcelain doll with a cracked face. But what froze Sarah's blood was the wall. Drawn in a child's handwriting were uneven letters scratched into the plaster. "Don't let him out." The first night. That night, Sarah tossed and turned in bed. She couldn't stop thinking about the hidden room. At around 2 a.m., she heard a faint scratching sound. At first, she thought it was rats in the walls. But then it grew louder. It wasn't random scratching. It was rhythmic, slow, almost like fingernails dragging across the hallway floor. Her heart pounded. She gathered her courage and opened her bedroom door. The hallway was dark, but the sound had stopped. She convinced herself it was just her imagination. The return. The next day, Sarah went back to the hidden room. She wanted to prove to herself that it was nothing more than an abandoned nursery. But when she stepped inside, her breath caught in her throat. The toys weren't in the same place. The stuffed bear was now sitting upright in the crib. The cracked doll had been moved to the corner, its broken glass eyes staring directly at the door. And on the wall, below the original words, new writing had appeared. Fresh, dark, smeared letters spelled, "He is awake." Sarah's hands shook. She stepped back, whispering, "No, this can't be real." The awakening. That night, the scratching returned. Louder this time. It came from the hallway, then closer, closer, until it stopped right outside her bedroom door. Sarah's breathing grew heavy. She grabbed her phone and turned on the flashlight, pointing it at the door. For a moment, there was silence. Then, 3 slow knocks. Her phone flickered and died instantly. She pressed her back against the wall, holding her breath, praying for it to stop. Eventually, exhaustion overtook her, and she fell asleep. The final night. The next evening, Sarah decided to end it. She took a hammer and nails and went to seal the hidden door shut again. But when she reached the hallway, the wardrobe was already pushed back in place, covering the door. Except, she hadn't moved it. Her stomach twisted. She slowly stepped closer, when suddenly she heard a child's laugh from behind the wardrobe. It was soft, playful, innocent, but it wasn't friendly. The laugh grew louder, echoing through the walls. Sarah panicked and ran downstairs, trying to escape, but every door was locked tight. No matter how hard she pulled, they wouldn't budge. And then she heard it again. The voice of a child, whispering right behind her ear. "Thank you for letting me out." The lights flickered, and the entire house went dark. When the neighbors came the next morning, the house was silent. The doors were unlocked, but Sarah was nowhere to be found. Only the wardrobe remained out of place. And on the wall inside the hidden room, the writing had changed again. Now, in large letters, it read, "She's with me now." The broken phone. Full story. It was late evening. The rain had just stopped, and the streets were empty, reflecting the glow of flickering streetlights. Ali walked quickly, his jacket pulled tight against the cold air. That's when he noticed something lying in the gutter. A broken smartphone, screen cracked, water dripping from its edges. Curious, he picked it up. Surprisingly, when he pressed the power button, the phone lit up. The battery was almost dead, but not completely. The lock screen showed 42 missed calls and 18 unread messages. Ali frowned. "Whose phone is this?" he muttered. But when he read the first message, his stomach tightened. "Where is the body?" His thumb froze. Another message popped up as he scrolled. "We know what you did. Don't think you can run." Ali's hands trembled. He glanced around the empty street. It felt colder now, heavier, as if someone was watching him. Then the phone vibrated in his hand. An incoming call. Ali looked at the screen, and his breath caught in his throat. The caller ID showed his own name, and his own phone number. His mouth went dry. Slowly, almost against his will, he answered. For a few seconds, there was nothing. Just silence. Then, a low, distorted voice whispered, "Ali, we've been waiting for you." The call ended abruptly. The screen went black. Ali dropped the phone in shock, his heart pounding. But before he could even step away, the phone lit up again on its own. This time, the lock screen showed something new, an image file. With shaking hands, he opened it. It was a photo, a fresh one, a picture of him, standing exactly where he was now. But the photo wasn't taken from the front. It was taken from behind him. Ali spun around instantly, scanning the street. Nobody. Empty road, dripping lamppost, silence. Yet, his pulse was racing, his instinct screaming that he wasn't alone. Then the phone vibrated again. Another message appeared. "Don't turn around next time." Ali's blood ran cold. He dropped the phone for good this time, stumbling backward. But as he turned to run, his own phone, safe in his pocket, began to ring. He froze. Slowly, he pulled it out. Unknown number. With trembling fingers, he answered. The same distorted voice whispered again, closer, clearer. "We're right behind you." The call ended. The streetlight above him flickered once, twice, and then went out. Ali was swallowed by darkness. The next morning, the police found the cracked phone lying in the street. But Ali was gone. Only his wallet and keys remained, scattered on the wet pavement. And the last photo saved on the phone was of Ali, standing in the dark, his face frozen in terror.